What's up everyone, welcome back to another episode. On today's video we'll be tackling something that I've kind of put off for a while just because there's been way more exciting projects going on. But the day has finally come and it's rainy out, so that's another reason I want to stay inside and stay dry. But we will be upgrading the radio on the MK4 GTI. So the GTI comes from the factory with a double DIN monsoon unit with absolutely no auxiliary input, which is a huge bummer. So today I want to modernize the sound and be able to stream and take calls over Bluetooth. Now I'm not a huge fan of aftermarket double DIN radios, so I did opt to go with a single DIN. So we'll be replacing that empty space with an aftermarket Cubby. As you can see, I have the adapter harness and the radio. Everything's ready to go. So sit back, relax, and let's get started. We're going to get started by making the connection from the car harness side to the radio. So we'll just have to connect a few wires over there, and other tools and components we'll be using. We have a heat gun, wire cutter, we have these heat shrink butt splice connectors, and some fabric tape. On the radio side, the first thing I'm going to do is just strip all of the wires and expose the leads. Alright, so this side is good, and the adapter harness is already pre-stripped for me, which will make things a little bit easier. Now we'll just connect the appropriate wire on this side to the matching wire on this side, and both of these should have diagrams like such that will kind of help you, but we'll just go through each one by one. Alright, we'll start with this yellow connection. This is the connection to the battery, so this is 12 volts. Now we'll move on to red, which is the accessory power. Next up is ground, just black. Alright, so there's a few wires on the vehicle side that we're not gonna use just because this radio does not have built-in navigation. So we have light green, green purple, and blue pink. So I'm just gonna cut these so we're not getting in the way of everything else, and we'll cover those up later on, but let's move on. We have orange, this is our illumination wire. Now we'll cut off this blue wire on the vehicle side. This is not used, we'll cover that up later. So now we have 8 more wires, and those are for the speakers. Each speaker will have 2 wires dedicated to it, a positive and a negative. So after we connect those, we'll be good. Generally the wires will be one color and then one color mixed with black to designate positive and negative. So for example, green is rear speaker on the left side, and green is positive, and then green black is negative. Now we'll move on to the rear right speaker. So we have purple as our positive, purple black is our negative, and we'll match that up on the other side. Now we'll move on to our front left speaker. We have white is our positive, and white black is our negative. Alright, our last speaker is the front right, and we have gray as our positive, gray black is our negative. Now I'm going to cover my unused wires with some heat shrink, and I'll use my heat gun to secure all of the connections. Alright, before we could go install this, there is actually one last thing, and we are going to plug in this little box right here, and this is basically in order to allow the radio to operate when the ignition is off. It's basically called retain accessory power, so we'll need this in order to use the radio if the car's off and we're stationary. And also it's just a unique way of VW, I guess, controlling the radio system, so you'll definitely need this. This is what turns the radio on and allows it to have power even when the car's on as well. So there's a very specific way to get this initialized, so we'll go through that once we're in the car and getting the radio installed. All right, now I'm just gonna group everything together with some of this fabric tape. And this is what we're left with. We have our connector for the vehicle harness. We have an unused steering wheel harness connector right here. We have our RAP box and then our radio connector over here. So everything is good to go. Now we could go into the car and install it. All right, now we're in the car and we are ready to install our adapters, and we are gonna test out the radio. We're not gonna do the final install yet, but we'll have the radio on the top spot and then we'll have our cubby on the bottom. But first, there are some very specific instructions to get this RAP little box to initialize with the car. So the first thing we're gonna do is plug in our harness to the car, and we are gonna leave that plugged in without the radio connected. The next thing we'll do is make sure all of our doors are closed, and we are gonna put our key and turn it to the on position, but do not start the car. And we are gonna leave that plugged in for 60 seconds. All right, now we are gonna turn the key to the off position, remove the key, and open the door. Now at this point, we could plug in the radio and make sure everything works. All right, so I just plugged in the radio. I'm gonna turn the key back on and make sure this thing fires. So I'm gonna remove the key now and make sure it turns off. Sweet. All right, well, it looks like everything is working, so I'm gonna slide this into place. This is how it looks after we have slid it into place. Now all that's left is to insert our aftermarket cubby, so we're gonna have to go assemble that real quick. All right, so here's the cubby. Pretty simple little plastic piece. It does come with 2 mounting brackets. There's 2 holes on top and 1 on bottom. It's kind of a hard distinction to make if you're not paying attention. Just double check that you do have 2 on the top, and then it should fit in place like so on each side. And then you'll secure it with 3 screws on each side. Theoretically, this thing is good to go and it should just slide into place. Let's go try it out. Now we have some extra storage, plus it looks a lot cleaner. So I'm pretty happy with how this turned out. All right, well, that's gonna wrap up today's very quick episode. Honestly, that went a lot smoother than I expected. You never really know with radios, and this still retains the OEM functionality. So I have a lot more technical videos coming your way, so stay tuned for that. As per usual, like, comment, and subscribe. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace out.